if this is Instagram. If you're watching this on Instagram, hey, haven't been here in a while, have I? If you're watching this on YouTube, I thought I'd do something different than another True Force Loneliness video. Hey, I got to go see Harley Quinn, actually called Birds of Prey. It is way better than the damn TV show that came out like, what, more than 15 years ago? So I'm going to give it 4 out of 5 stars right now. I'm giving it a B because I felt like it. Now, what you're looking at here is the Harley Quinn comic book from 2000. This only lasted about 2 years. And she wasn't super popular. She was becoming popular, but most people only like the elitists knew her from the animated series, and that's all that she was doing at that point. It just didn't sell very well. Obviously, if this comic book came out today, they would scramble tooth and nail to get somebody to really, really continue the comic book. It would be a horrible, colossal mistake today to let this comic book go to waste, as it did for 2 years. Ended in issue number 24. She went back to Arkham Asylum, and that was it. But then she came back in better series, better issues, better storylines, 15, 16, 17 years later, so it's all right. So it's very much like Kick-Ass. Birds of Prey is very much like Kick-Ass, Quentin Tarantino, Deadpool, just a lot of action. And a little bit of that pilot, what is it? The Arrow and the Two Canaries, the spin-off of Arrow. That was like the next to last episode from last season of the last final season of Arrow. So if you think of Mia Smoke and what is it? Dinah Lance and then Laurel Lance. I don't know what it is. Dinah Lance and Laurel. I forget. So if you think of that show and then you think of this, and then you think of Quentin Tarantino and Kick-Ass and a lot of dark humor. This is a rated R movie. Not as misogynist, not as, anti-male, not as feminine as it appeared to be. Way better than expected. Not better than Joker, not better than Aquaman or Shazam or Batman v Superman, but better than no letdowns. So I'm going to get into spoilers now. At the 2-minute 42 mark here, I'm going to get into spoilers, and you'll see it. Let me get the supplemental image here. So, what did I like? What I liked so much about it was the fact that we start off with a cartoon, kind of almost like the cartoon you see from the new Harley Quinn animated series with Kaylee Cuoco doing the voice. I hope Arlene Sorkin got to see this. They actually put the credits, Bruce Timm and Paul Dini as the creators, just like Jerry Siegel and Joe Shuster, who did Superman. And also, let me see. There's all kinds. There's all, like Bob Kane and Bill Finger, who did Batman. Jerry and Joe, who did Superman. William Martin Molson and H.G. Peters, who did Wonder Woman. There's a lot of different people. So this was very good. We start off with the cartoon, going over her life story, how she was raised by her pop, how she went to a nunnery, a convent. She escaped the convent. She went from man to man, kind of like Kathy. The comic strip Kathy? Some of you might remember it. Her life was like Kathy, and then she went to college. Then she became a psychologist, and then she met the Joker. And you kind of figure, if you watch Suicide Squad or Mad Love, you kind of, from the animated series and the comic book, you kind of figure out what's happening. And so it's pretty much like you see her, she's gonna go back and forth between what happened a week ago, 4 days ago. Now, one critic said, a lot of the male characters are stupid and all the women are empowered. That's 85% true. There's one officer who helps out Renee Montoya at the beginning. He's like an extra. He gives her some evidence that shows her that Harley Quinn has broken up with Joker, which leads Roman Sionis, the Black Mask, Ewan McGregor, which was pretty good. He does his bit as Black Mask. It wasn't super ecstatic, but it was interesting to see because Ewan McGregor played a criminal in a more serious movie, a more grounded reality movie. He played a jewelry heist, a jewelry robber, a big caper, high stakes jewelry criminal like Lupin the Third. He played what is it? He had a guy, an apprentice. I forget the name of this movie, but Ewan played a criminal who was a master thief. So here it's a sort of a parody of that because as Michael Chiklis from Gotham explained, when you're doing like when you go from like Law and Order or a crime drama to like Batman, you're doing like a more comic condensed version of what way you would behave, but it's a more over the top a bit. Um, so I can kind of, if you, except for Jim Gordon, if you kind of believe that the chief of police or the commissioner is corrupt, except for Jim Gordon and Harvey Bullock, all the men seem to be corrupt in the GCPD for whatever reason. Uh, so you have Renee Montoya, who is probably the only worthwhile human being. You have some women who are supporting the men, like that one Asian lawyer who is the ex-girlfriend of the chief of police, I think, or the commissioner. And then you have, um, let's see, you have Bruce, her hyena, Harley Quinn's hyena. You've got this whole thing about the Huntress. Now, the Huntress, Mary Elizabeth Winstead, doesn't get a lot of time. By the way, I love the stunts. I think Chad Stahelski was like second unit director. He had two Johns, Jonathan Uribe. I'm gonna get John Valera was one of them, and Jonathan. I think it's Uribe. I'm gonna get the name wrong. I could barely remember the other John. So John Valera was one of the two stunt coordinators, and there's about 100 stunt people. I would nominate, if I'm going to say this now, I would nominate Aline Main to be the stunt double for Mary Elizabeth Winstead as the Huntress the next time the Huntress appears on screen. Because I was looking at Mary's body, and Mary's body and Aline's body are about the same. And Aline Main can do some hard stunts. So Aline Main, that's for you. I nominate you to be that stunt person to go and fight Kick-Ass. I'm sure you can do it. I'm sure you'll do fine. You did Gotham fine, and you'll do the next Birds of Prey fine. The characters were very good. Some people said that Black Canary and Huntress weren't that great. I think they did fine. I think when you get to a certain point with lesser known characters, you can do that. One surprising thing I noticed was that before you see the logo, before the movie starts, they went back to the DC Universe logo that they did for Justice League and I think Aquaman. But for a time, when they had Shazam and then I think Joker, they did not have the Justice League logos or the DC Universe sort of logo. So they went back to it. I think it's trying to keep it. I think it's probably, it could be Zack Snyder's thing where he puts that in there. I don't know. Could have to do with Zack Snyder as well as Wonder Woman 84. I want to call it WW84, which is coming up next. Also the Sonic the Hedgehog movie. But yeah, we're going, it's basically a black women, all the women fight up against Black Mask. Black Mask, he wants a diamond that is closely related to the Huntress's origin, who is Helena Bertinelli and the crime family. Her crime family was gunned down by another crime family, and essentially they want the diamond that has the bank code number to essentially like get all the money in the world. So as Rosie Perez explains it, because she's Renee Montoya, she explains it that if Roman Sionist gets the diamond, he can decipher the code and hack into the bank account of the Bertinelli crime family and get like billions of dollars to control all of Gotham, just run the whole place. So, they can't have this happen. Let me get a better shot of them. Yeah. She has good curves. So it's a lot of girl power. I know this one here, Ella J. Bosco, who plays Cassandra Cain, who's the pickpocket thief. I know her aunt. I met her aunt a few times. Uh, she did speakeasies, so I know her aunt. I've met her aunt. I've never met any of the other family members, but I've met her aunt. So it's a very small world. Um, and I went to school with one of the other characters in the DC universe. I won't say which one, but if you're if you have an open mind, you might figure out who it is. But it's a small universe. I get to know some of the people in the DC universe. Um, but yeah, Lady Bosco. So that's Ella J. Bosco there, 13-year-old. Um, we got, and this was good. I don't know if I liked her canary cry, but I liked what she was doing. I liked Journey Smollett's stuff. So it was pretty good. And what else? I think that's it. I was very happy with the results. So I'm giving this a B minus 80%. And yeah, some people may not have liked it. At the very end, there's an audio. There's not a post-credit scene, but there's a post-credits audio clip. And Harley says, "Oh, one more thing I gotta see. You still here?" As we see the Warner Brothers logo. Okay, I gotta tell you a secret. Okay, the secret is that Batman is really, and that's it. So she just teased Batman, but nothing new. So it's kind of a fuck with you kind of post credits thing, but it was fun, and it was fun to get into this. So it's not gonna be Joker. Aquaman and Shazam are traditional stories, and Joker is uh, Joker is yeah, and Joker is something else, and Harley Quinn is something else. It's more about the villains. I like to think that we're looking at the same Joker. By the way, the guys, what we're looking at in the movie is Harley Quinn having what she does throughout this movie is she scans every person, who the person is and what the grievance they have towards Harley Quinn. Which with the Black Mask, he has a grievance of all kinds against Harley Quinn. But once he learns that she broke up with the Joker, as she blows up Ace Chemicals with a big old gasoline truck into rainbow explosions, he's got a lot of grievance. He wants her dead. Um, and Black Canary is kind of his bitch. Uh, Basically, Black Canary was a kid from the street, and Black Mask took her in. But we never see the canary cry until the very end of the movie, and of course, Roman gets blown up. No sequel for him. So that's about it. Um, but yeah, I really think that this was worth a damn. I'm going to sign out. It's been a long night. I really enjoyed this movie. Um, I don't see the a bunch of people protesting this movie like they did Joker. Like what? Like you think that there's no negativity, right? But people are hypocrites. They're gonna find things to hate. But don't hate this movie. Give it a chance. Don't take it too seriously. Don't take it too much. Just enjoy it. Look, we got Wonder Woman coming out. We got the Suicide Squad. The Suicide Squad. We got Batman. We got Flash, Aquaman 2, and lots of other stuff. Lots of other happiness coming out. Until then, take care and see you at the movies.